So, you guys, welcome to today's class, today's episode. Okay, so how are you guys doing? Welcome to today's classes. So, how are you guys doing? Okay, so let's kick off. So, last time we were treating uh, what is it called? CSS, Introduction to CSS. And I want this guy just some time to record. So we treated what is it called? How to include our CSS file in our header file, and we came to this guy here where we treated the border. This was our CSS file that we created the last class, and we added a border of E1 and E2, and also we also treated some attributes, and I told you guys to read about for the next classes. We treated selectors in our last class. We treated selectors, and then we treated properties, and we treated the values, and then went ahead to treat how we can include our CSS file, the inline, the internal, and the external way of including our CSS. And also we went ahead to treat our measurement units in CSS, which is we have the percent, the EM, CM, REM, PH, DC, DT, EW, V, min, and PX. So these are the things that we treated uh, in our last class. So I'm going to go ahead to make use of these things we treated and also learn more things. Um, so let us get started. So remember you guys, while we are doing the inclusion file or at here, while we are doing our inclusion file here, which is our external CSS, remember I told you guys that this high ref is the pointer location where all where the CSS file is located. This can be anywhere. It can be anywhere in your folder, or it can be online. As long as you have the right target folder, the browser is going to find it no matter where it is. So let us start. Okay, let us start. So we've done the measurement units. So the next thing we're going to treat is colors. The next thing we're going to treat is colors. So let us see how we deal with colors. Remember you guys, we gave this guy background color of this guy. So let us give a quick detour about colors. So we do catalog colors. So let's go down and see colors in CSS. So we have RGB color. Sorry, we have RGB color. which stands for red, green, blue. And then we have a hex, and we just have the keyword. Okay, now let us give an example of RGB colors. In RGB colors, if you want to how would I put it, if you want to call out RGB color, you start with putting it out like this, RGB, and then these brackets, and then you give the color code. The first one is for the red, the second one is for the green. So let us put it this way: the first one is red, for red color, the second one is green, and the third one is blue. Yeah, so now we have the hex. X uses a hexadecimal, or I don't know if any of you know what hexadecimal is. Hexadecimal number starts from 0 to F. That's from 0 to F. That is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. A, which is 10, B, 11, C, 12, D, 13, E, 14, F, 15, right? Am I right? Should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Then G, that's the hex code. Sorry, it stops at F. Sorry, that's hexadecimal code. So now we have the keyword. The keyword is the blue, or the green, or the black, or any other color you can think of, as long as it is placed in what is it called, in CSS colors, you can actually use it. So now let us go to our CSS file and see where we made use of any of these colors. So in our CSS file, we made use of the black color. We made use of the black color. Okay, we made use of the green. I made use of the pink here. So can you guys see something? When I hover over it, you have this thing here, giving you the RGB value of pink. So now we can decide to change this pink and give it an RGB. Sorry, and give it a RGB. Sorry about that. I'll give it an RGB. Let's see. Let's say we give it RGB. Sorry. Can you guys see here? Can you guys see something here? It said red, green, and blue. So now we give the bracket. The RGB is a function, is a CSS color function. So we put the bracket. So let us specify the first color we're going to use, which is the red. So let's specify how many percent of red we need to use. So let's say we give it a value of, it starts from 0. 0 is black and moves upwards. So let's say we give it a, what is it called? Let's give it a 20, for example. A 20. That is red, value for red. Then the value for green, let's give it a 50. This is just an example. I don't know what color is going to turn out to be, but either way. And the value of blue, let's give it a 70. And then let us save. Remember, we were using our, what is it called, this guy. So can you guys see something? This guy used to be pink before, and now it is somehow gray. So let us go back and increase the value of red. Okay, can you guys see the color output? So let us increase the value of red and give it a 200. Let's see something. Can you guys see? It became more reddish because the value of red is higher. And then when we give a value of blue going to be 200 also, the color is going to be a lot yellow. So you guys remember green and red gives you yellow, right? Yeah, so that's what it is here. So if we increase this guy to 200 also, I think it's going to go to white or something. Yeah, white, exactly, because the whole values are the same, so it gave you white. So that's like that rainbow kind of shape when you put all values together and they give you another something. That's what we have here. So if we save it right now, this guy is going to come back to white. So now you guys see how to use the RGB function. So now we've treated RGB, so let us go to hex. So in hex uses a hexadecimal value to give the color something else. So here we have this border of green, which is this guy. We have this border of green, which is this guy. So we are going to give it a hex value and see what it's going to put out to. So let us do that and see what's up. So it appears that none of you are here yet after 16 minutes and nobody's here yet. Honestly, it's kind of heartbreaking, but regardless, I'm still gonna do it regardless, so you guys can watch later. So now let us use the hex color value function. So let us say to use a hex color value, you start with a hash. You start with a hash key. You start with a hash key, and then you can call it. You can give it whatever you want. So if you go 1, 2, 3, 4, you see it's black. All zero becomes black. Now you guys see the color up here. All zero becomes black. I will change this last one to an F. It's going to look quite different something. Let's say FE2. Let's see what is going to turn out to be. That's blue. So you can give this guy whatever value you want. It's RG, that is a hex function. You can give it whatever value you want, and the highest is going to be 6. Anything higher than 6, it doesn't work. So you have only 6 inputs for the RGB function, just 6, which is these guys and these guys. That is just 6 functions. So now we have treated RGB, we've treated the hex. I'm going to treat what is it called, the keyword, which is this guy. We've treated RGB, we've treated this guy. The next one is keyword. So we are going to treat keyword and see how that one looks. So this guy have a text in it. Yeah, let's see, it has a text in it right here. So let us go and give it a new attribute. So I think we called, oh yeah, we gave it a color of red here. So if we are going to use the keyword in our external CSS, it's not going to work. Remember you guys, when I was teaching you about hierarchy of CSS. So this is the hierarchy of CSS. The first one is going to treat is the inline. It's going to treat the inline, which is this guy, you see here. You're going to treat the inline CSS first, and then it's going to treat the internal, which is this guy you see right here, and then it's going to treat the external, which is our file right here. So in our case, we already declared an internal of red. This is a keyword red. So you can give another keyword and call it purple, and then it's going to go over here and change to purple. Right, you guys see here the hello world changed to purple. So that is it about the HTML colors. So now that we have done a little bit of something and how the color works, so let's see how we can use them. Okay, so I don't know how I'm supposed to. Okay, let me see if I can show you guys all the color codes or some of the color codes that we have in our HTML, so you guys can refer to that later and then use it a little bit. So let us do that. Okay, I'm going to share it from my screen here on my device. Sorry about that. Come on. Okay, I'm coming in a little bit. Okay, I think I got it now. Let's go. This is me. So let's share. Okay, there it is. So, okay, so now let us look at some hex colors, or let us say how we're gonna put it. Okay, so let us look at some functions, some colors, and okay, give me a few seconds to put that out. Okay, while that is getting into hand, okay, don't worry, let us do it from here. Let's add it to a file here. Okay, we can actually add it. So what's going to open here? Here is our bundle. So let us see the color that we added. So let's wait for it to load up. Okay, let's share, copy this and put it in our developer folder so it's easier for us to access. Okay, so while dealing with the colors, there are key things to take note of when you are putting your color function. Remember, using RGB, you can always use a percent in RGB function. You can use a percentage or an RGB function. Remember when we are putting 20, 50, 100, 200? Yeah, you can also do that. Sorry about that. You can also do that in RGB functions, and I'll show you guys just how to do that. Let me first of all copy that image. Yeah, this is it. Okay, here it is. So let us paste. So this is just a few of the RGB colors that we have right here. So like I told you guys, of 90%. You guys see what happened? We changed to pink. And let's give this guy a percent of 10%. We change to a darker pink. And let's give this guy another 10% and see the pink is going to get more darker to red. So can you guys see it now? This is how you can use a percentage in the RGB function. So then again, we are going to deal with CSS, what is it called? We're going to deal with CSS background. Okay, so CSS background. Okay, let's add it right here. Compile CSS backgrounds. So now in CSS background, you have the background attribute. Sorry, you have the background attribute. You have the background color. You have the background color. You have the background image. Sorry. And we have other attributes that come with backgrounds. They have the background position. This background position, what it does is puts your background image in the right position, or your background color in the right position. Then you have background repeat. You're going to see about all that in a bit. Repeat. We have we have background attachment. We have what else? I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's it. So let us start with background. So let us go to our CSS. Remember, we still have our P1 here. So let us add a background color to our P1. We're going to do background. And then we are going to add a color. Yeah, let's use this color that we already called out before. So now in background, you can use either a hex color or an RGB color function or a color keyword. So in our case, we are just going to use a hex. And sorry, let's put that. Look, can you guys see here? It changed to this thing. So now in some cases, some browsers do not support what is it called, background, or they don't support background color. So we use background instead. So but in our case, Chrome browser supports background, Firefox supports background, Opera supports background, and the rest of it. So now that you have done a background color, you see what it is. So now let us do a background color. So we did a background. Let us use a background color. So let's use this P1 that has a border and give it a background color. And let's use an RGB function for this one. So we go RGB, and then let us go like let's do a smaller percent here, a higher percent here, and a much more larger percent here. I don't know what color I'm selecting. Whatever it turns out to be, we're gonna see it. So remember, you guys, when typing a CSS code, always remember to put this semicolon after each line of your declarations, so that way it tells the CSS compiling file that this is the end of the line, this is the end of this value and its attribute. So let us see what's up. Okay, like you guys see here, we gave this guy a different background color. So now that we are done with background and background color, let us deal with background image. So let us come back here and remove this guy. Since we are no longer dealing with inline, we're going to be using an external CSS. So now let me give you guys a quick note. An external CSS is a better way to write your CSS code because it makes it more easier to debug, and more readable, and easier to access. So that way you can use multiple CSS code on multiple web pages. Like let's say you have the home, the about, and whatnot. If you have like 10 pages, those 10 pages can use one CSS file. So that's one very good of that's one very good use of external CSS. So now let us call our body. Remember, this is a class selector and ID selector. So in our body case, we are going to use a generic selector, which is the body, which is selects the elements directly. I'm going to say background image. Yeah, let's do background image here. and you're going to start with URL. What this URL does, it gives the browser the target location to look for the image. So when you do URL, you put a double quote and then you find the file. So I don't know which file we have, so let's do a dot slash. So when you do a dot slash, it shows you all the files in your current working folder. So we have the doc, we have my pics, we have the WhatsApp image, which was the color we were using earlier. So let us use dark and see what the dark image is. So let us control X and see what it looks like. Okay, here it is. Can you guys see it is? Yeah. So now let me give you a big sweet example where you can use both the background image and the background. So you see now we don't want this guy having a white stuff. The white is just too much. So let us see if it's going to do anything. Yeah. So let us put a background color. Yeah. Put a background this guy here, and then let us make it let's say something a little bit darker. So we go and copy, go like let's go RGB. Since we want something darker, it's quite easier to name it out. So we go a lesser value of red, and okay, let's use this guy. This is a perfect example. So let us set it up. Okay, I forgot to this guy's name. Okay, let us set it up and see what's oh it covered the whole image. So what this does is since the image is not transparent, yeah, since the image is not transparent, it's not going to work properly. Okay, yeah, here it is. So can you guys see it now? So when you want to use both image and a color, you use this guy here. So when you are not using background image and background color, you use separately background. So can you guys see here? This looks so sweet in the eye. Like I mean, the color is dope. So now let us go ahead and treat background position. So can you guys see that this image looks like it came down a little bit. So when we put background position here, we say background position. Can you guys see here? Background position. And then we put center. So what it's going to do is going to make our image come to the center of the grid, the center of the element. So can you guys see it now? It's at the center. And it's way big. It's just way big. So I forgot to mention one other attribute with background, which is the background size. Sorry, background size. So now we are going to we've seen example of background color, background image, background position. Now we're going to see background size. Sorry, I wasn't following you. So we go background size again, and background size we are going to make it cover. You see, background size have three options. You can either use these keywords, you can either use either of these three keywords, or you can use CSS measurement unit to give it a measure. So in our case, we're going to just use the keywords. When you use cover, what it's going to do is it's going to take hold of the entire page. Can you guys see here? It made coverage over the entire page. Make sure the image covers the entire page. Now when we use contain, it's going to make the image look the actual size it is. Okay, can you guys see it? The image now looks actual size. Can you guys notice something? It kept repeating itself. It kept repeating and repeating and repeating. So in our case, we don't want this guy to keep repeating and repeating and repeating. So that's where the background repeat. That's where the background repeat comes in. So let us see how we can use background repeats to manipulate our stuff. So when we say background repeat, okay, which is this guy, you have four options or five. You have the inherit, you have no repeats, you have repeat X and repeat Y. Oh, there's more options here. So let us treat them one after the other. So let's start with no repeats, and then you see that the background image will not repeat again. It just showed just once. Now you guys see here, it showed just once. So now when we say repeat X, it's going to repeat it on the X axis. It's going to repeat it on the X axis. Okay, can you guys see it just repeated it on the X axis, which is this guy. And when we say repeat Y, it's going to repeat it on the Y axis, which is the vertical line. Can you guys see it here? So now when we say just repeat, it's going to repeat all over the place like the first time. So a quick reminder, if you don't set the background repeat and the background is not set to cover, it's going to automatically repeat everything. So now let us look for other attributes of repeats. So now we've seen repeats, no repeat, repeat X and repeat Y. Let's see what these guys do, and let's see. Okay, it's still the same thing as the rest of it. Okay, so now in this background size, when you choose background to cover, automatically it will not repeat itself once. Oh, it did repeat. Wow. Okay, so when you set background to cover, I set this guy to no repeat, it's going to make it look a little bit sweet. Okay, just like this. And then let us see background size of auto and see what that one does. So background size auto practically did the same thing as cover did. So now let us see what background position does. So for us to see that, let's use contain, so you can see where our image is at the beginning. So remember, you guys, we started with background to the center, and then when we say top, all right, it's going to take the image to the top. Now you guys see here, center, top. And when we say left, it's going to push the image to the left. Now you guys see here. And then when we say right, it's going to put the image to the right. Now you guys see here. So that is pretty much it about the background and background images. And this comes to the end of today's class. So by Monday, we are going to go deeper and deeper into using our CSS properties to set more things on our CSS. So let us go ahead and end today's class. So please, if you have any question, do